Good morning. We're going to start this training by getting to know the equipment we will be working with. Here we have a Greco Mark V, and we are going to learn about it. We have the power button, and we also have the button to adjust the pressure, either to increase or decrease it. This equipment comes with a screen that shows us the pressure level in pounds that we are working with, allowing us to increase or decrease it. We also have the return hose. This return hose is activated using this lever. Additionally, this is a filter. This is a paint receiver that includes a filter inside. The factory installed filter is not used by us due to the material we handle. I recommend removing that filter to avoid the gun or the nozzle getting clogged frequently while you are working. When you are working, always make sure to engage the safety lock. This will help you to avoid accidentally pulling the trigger or nozzle while removing, climbing down a ladder, lift, or scaffold, preventing accidents in the work area. We also have what we call the butterfly, along with its tip. Depending on the specifications, you will use the appropriate tip size. Not all equipment or jobs use the same tip size. Always make sure to talk to your supervisor about the appropriate equipment you need before starting your work. It is also important that the hose you are using are capable to withstanding more than 3,000 pounds of pressure, as indicated by the manufacturer. Another important point is that all the connections on the equipment must be suitable for the same pressure. Never use bronze connections as they are not safe for working with this equipment. We start this powering on the machine. Always ensure that the machine is connected properly to an undamaged extension cord. This is an important part of the equipment's operation. To start, press the power button to turn on the machine and make sure everything is in order. Always ensure that the machine's pressure is set to the lowest level before starting to test its proper functioning. It is also important that your gun is always locked before starting for your safety. Never point this gun or nozzle at your face or body. We also have the butterfly, as we call it, which is what we use for spraying. Make sure to always make the correct connections. These machines are very delicate, meaning you need to handle them with care and responsibility. Always ensure that the safety lock is engaged when not in use to prevent accidents. Before starting our work, we must ensure that all the connections on our equipment are properly tightened to avoid pressure leaks while working and to prevent accidents. Always make sure that all the connections on your equipment are properly connected. It is also important to know that before starting, we need to lubricate our equipment. Before beginning our work, we must lubricate the piston area of the equipment by adding oil daily. These machines come with a nozzle that includes a safety lock, which you must activate when not using the equipment. This lock allows you to move safely without leaks or accidentally pulling the trigger, preventing accidents. The return valve is important. Before starting, make sure to set it up to drain or return mode so that when you begin, you are certain that your machine has no pressure. Before starting to spray, always ensure that the pressure control knob on the equipment is set to the lowest level. Once you are sure of this, turn on your equipment. Check that your gun is locked and remove the lock to begin testing the material by gradually increasing the pressure level in the equipment. Once we see that the material is functioning correctly, we return the knob to the lowest level and ensure that the nozzle is locked again to prevent accidents. Next, we move on the part where we install the butterfly, as we call it, along with the tip that is appropriate for the paint we are about to use. Once we have this set up, we can adjust the pressure again to regulate the paint for the way we will be working.
Para comenzar a regular nuevamente la pintura, cómo la vamos a utilizar o de la forma en la que vamos a trabajar.
This way, we can see that we are ready to start working on the assigned project. While spraying, you may encounter a problem such as clogged or something obstructing the tip's output. Always make sure to rotate your tip and test to see if the paint or material you are using comes out correctly before doing anything else. Once you have done this and see that it works, return the tip to the spraying position and continue working. It is also important to know that if this does not work, you need to remove the tip and soak it in water or the solvent you are using, depending on the material you are working with. If the action you took to solve the problem is not enough and you need to remove the butterfly, always ensure that the gun is locked. Then, safely rotate the butterfly, unlock it, and perform another test. Always using the lowest pressure possible on the machine to avoid accidents. This will help you to determine if the problem is with the nozzle or the tip. If you have material coming out, it means the problem is still in the nozzle, and you need to let it clear the clog causing the issue. Once you finish your workday, you need to ensure that your equipment and hoses are clean of the material you were using. How are we going to do this? We will always ensure that the hose pressure is at the lowest level and begin releasing the material inside the hose into another container, little by little.
Poco a poco.
Once you start this process, remove the butterfly. And place it in the liquid, either water or the solvent you used for the paint you are working with. Then start again from the lowest pressure to release the material inside the hose.
El material que tienes dentro de la manguera.
Once you see that the hose is clean or that the solvent or water you are using to clean the hose is clear, finish by securing your gun, returning the pressure to the minimum, and release the pressure through the return hose.
Y liberas la presión por medio de la manguera de retorno de esta manera.
Here's a safety tip. Never, under any circumstances, point the nozzle at your hand, any part of your body, or other people. Keep in mind the risk involved when handling this type of equipment. For your safety, never point the nozzle at your hand or any part of your body. When using a pen extension, there is a greater risk when trying to manipulate the butterfly. Always ensure that the safety lock is engaged and the machine is at the lowest pressure to safely manipulate the tip without any risk. This is the safety lock that helps prevent you from accidentally activating the trigger on your nozzle.